Hello, everyone. My name is Danny. This review is for the movie called Harriet. Based on the thrilling and inspirational life of an iconic American freedom fighter, Harriet tells the extraordinary tale of Harriet Tubman's escape from slavery and transformation into one of America's greatest heroes. Haunted by memories of those she left behind, Harriet ventures back into dangerous territory on a mission to lead others to freedom. With allies like abolitionist William Still and the entrepreneurial Marie Buchanan, Harriet risks capture and death to guide hundreds to safety as one of the most prominent conductors of the Underground Railroad. Witness the story of a woman who defied impossible odds to change the course of her life and the fate of the nation. This is a 2019 film. It is rated PG-13. It runs a little over 2 hours. And it stars Cynthia Erivo, Leslie Odom Jr., Joe Alwyn, and Janelle Monáe. This is Harriet. Well, the first thing I'd like to say about a movie like this that's historical is obviously to commemorate the memory of Harriet Tubman was very nice, very thoughtful, something that was eventually going to happen and probably will in many different movies, but this one in particular was a nice commemoration of her life. It's a good recap of it. I think a lot of us learned a lot about Harriet Tubman in school, and I feel like this was a good kind of selective things about her life that we learned. And so props to whoever thought of this, whoever carried this through, all of those involved for the memory and the history that this movie is honoring. Thank you for that. As far as the movie goes and the history of it that it decides to cover and tell us about and include in the movie for 2 hours, I just have, this weird feeling about me after I've seen the whole movie that they did not include the things that we really learned about the Underground Railroad. And there have been other movies about this subject, and with the specific details that I'm thinking about, and I don't know why they didn't include it in this movie. It just kind of leaves a little bit of a pit in your stomach, kind of a weird feeling that they just didn't tell all the facts. That they decided to tell their facts, and then have the rest be really dramatic and a lot of running away, and then the movie ends, and they give a recap of how great a hero she was, and that's the movie. And it's fine to make the movie that way, and I think the movie is fine, but I think that when you don't make a movie about one subject and you don't include everything that everybody knows is obvious, that's history, and it's just not going to be a complete movie. I mean, it's going to lack no matter what. So I'm just one person. I'm just thinking about one specific fact that I know was missing from the movie. Other people might know of more. So I mean, some people are history buffs. They might rip this movie apart. I did look up, I did look up a couple things because I wanted to know if they were historically accurate, and so I was kind of wondering, how historically accurate some of the things that happened in this movie were. So they seem to be, founded. I don't know why they decided to include them in this movie, but I decided to look those two things up. Otherwise, other than the historical part of the movie, the dramatic effectiveness of it is good. Kind of forget about the nickname that they had for her, and so that was kind of a neat part of the movie and everything. and they played that up a lot. All the times that she escaped, I mean, of course, we know she's going to escape. I mean, she's Harriet Tubman, and we know what her life included. Um, I don't know. It's just one of those movies. I mean, I usually, typically, for me, do not watch these kind of movies in theater because I hate knowing what's coming. These historical movies, all these adventure movies, ones about volcanoes and, firefighters and all this other stuff. All these 9/11 movies. I mean, we know what's going to happen at the end. We know what's going to happen in the middle when they're in a troublesome situation. And it's just, kind of insulting to the intelligence to watch these movies over and over and over again, especially these ones about old history. I mean, did we not all go through school? Do we not all know the history of Harriet Tubman in some form? So, I mean, it's not a movie to enjoy. I really don't think so. I really don't know if anybody is going to fall in love with this movie. It has some moments where it is effective. They say really inspirational words and a very confident voice and make a really riveting speech and get the crowd all together and they have some nice moments, they some nice feeling things, a lot of people hugging because they're so happy that these actors lived a life of poverty and now they're free. And I mean, I just know they're actors. I mean, it's not the real people that went through this or anything. It was hundreds of years ago. So um yeah, I just don't know what to say about movies like this because it's so tough to know what's coming, and then you start looking up things that are factual, and then you won't start wondering why they left things out when they happened in history. You start to question things. It's effective. It's a nice story. It's a nice tale. You appreciate the people that were involved in the project, but it's just not a movie to enjoy. It's not a movie to be a favorite, and people can rip it apart a lot more than I can as far as the facts go. And so I questioned a couple things that they put in here. And for that, and for the non effectiveness of being a really entertaining movie, I'm just going to mark it down as I've seen it. I think it's middle of the road, and I'm going to give Harriet a C. This is the kind of movies that come along that I'm glad people are able to make, but I'm just not crazy about, and I probably never will be unless it really wows me and the people really buy into their roles, and maybe make something original out of it other than just deciding what they want to include in the movie. So C for Harriet. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, we have a million of these movies come along, especially the old history ones. What do you guys think about them? Do you enjoy them, or are you kind of like with me? I'm just kind of like whatever. Just kind of watch it, or maybe you don't watch them at all. Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, thanks a lot, guys. My name's Danny. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and get some of them watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would. Enjoy your movies. Thanks.